Offensive expectations. Um, Look, there's a mixed bag of optimism coming into the 2025 season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me explain what I'm talking about. You know, we have a new quarterback, and he's a better quarterback than what we had last year. I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields at just being a NFL quarterback. I think he's better. But then he's also 41 with some mobility issues or mobility concerns. You know, that's what I'm talking about, a mixed bag. We got new faces at some other places as well. Like we got a new wide receiver. We brought in DK Metcalf, but we didn't address what the issue was on the other side of the field. While we brought in DK, we got rid of George Pickens, and we didn't necessarily address what's going on the other side of the field. So it's the same issue as what we had last season. At running back, yes, Jalen Warren is more explosive, better vision. We've seen it. This is stuff that we've actually seen. But you know what else we've seen? Fumble issues, ball security issues, and some durability questions. Those are things that you never saw with Najee. Even when he was banged up, he showed up and he didn't fumble the football. Offensive line. I, I I think there's more questions this year than there were last year. While we didn't think that the offensive line was going to be up to snuff, I think there's more questions on both tackles positions than there definitely was last year. That's even with Broderick playing right side because remember, Broderick wasn't bad his rookie year playing right tackle. He wasn't bad, but he was bad last year. And now he's moving to left, and we're bringing in a right tackle that played 55 snaps and then blew his knee out. So there's that. I'm just saying there's more questions as far as this offense this year than there was last year. Now, let's talk about last year, 2024 offense, 11th in rushing. Um, for as much as we talked about Najee and the offensive line, when we ran the football, we were 11th in the National Football League. That's better than average. It's not spectacular, but it's better than average, which is good. Look, Najee ran for 1,043 yards, 4 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. He had another 36 catches. Again, as much as we talk about him, it's not explosive, but productive. You can't knock him for that. Moving on. We were 23rd in points, or excuse me, 23rd in total offense. Not good enough. Not good enough. 16th in points, basically, I mean, literally in the middle at 22.4 points a game. We were 27th in passing, which is 190 or with 192 yards a game. First off, the 192 is atrocious. 27th, unacceptable. Just unacceptable. That's obviously got to go back and has to improve. It has to improve. But I think part of that goes back to not having a solid wide receiver too, which again, we didn't. At least it doesn't appear that we have addressed. I know the Steelers are saying that they've addressed it, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, both of these guys were on the football team last year. One couldn't get on the field due to injury, and the Steelers not trusting him. Another guy, I'm just not convinced that Calvin Austin the third is a wide receiver too. I think he's a good slot receiver, but I think that's what he is. But either way, the passing game's got to improve from what it looked like. Now, what would you consider success? And that's a good question because that can be complex, but I don't think it has to be. I'm just going to break it down here for you guys. Bear with me. Need to continue to be a top 11 rushing team. Now, again, I just told you that rushing the top 11 wasn't spectacular, but I don't think the Steelers have to be. Again, 11 is above average, in the National Football League. So, yeah, you want to run the football, you can be in the top 11. Great. But the passing, as I mentioned, it's got to improve. It's got to get better. 192 a game is despicable. I'll be quite honest. 192 yards a game passing is despicable. And this, yeah, it's just despicable. You got to get in the top 16. You got to get in the top 16. And if you can do that, I think, first of all, if the Steelers did that last year, I think they win 2 more football games. Last year, number 16, guess who that was? It was 218 yards a game, was the number 16 team in the National Football League in passing. It just happened to be the New York Jets. And their quarterback happened to be Aaron Rodgers. So you have the quarterback from a team that wasn't that good. They were 16th in the league in passing. Now, I get it. Some of those yards came with garbage time or because they were behind so much, they had to throw the football. Whatever the case, I think you got to bump that up. Get to 16. 218 is not a ton of yards passing, people. Not like we're saying go out and throw for 300 yards a game. 218 yards a game is what we are looking for. And I know that includes sack yards. I totally get it. But 218 is what we're looking for. And not even 218. We're just looking to get to 16 in passing. I think that's a bump that is attainable. But scoring, here's the one that really it changes things. So the Steelers last year, 22.4 points per game. If they bump that up just 2 points, two, not a touchdown, not 5 points, 2 points a game, that gets them just under 25. If you want to round up or whatever the case may be, 25 a game, that gets them to 10. 10. If the Steelers are top 10 in scoring last year, easily 2 more wins. Easily 2 more wins. So you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind and keep it in perspective on what you believe the offense should look like. I don't think that these expectations are just crazy. I think these expectations are fine, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. So it's not that big of a jump or that big of a bump to be able to meet these expectations and to have a better football team. Will it happen? We don't know. But the one thing is, we don't have to wait long to find out, man. So appreciate that. Let's go to the poll question. Poll, what do you think will be the most critical factor for the Steelers offense to improve in 2025? How Aaron Rodgers meshes with Arthur Smith's offense. A. B. The emergence of a reliable wide receiver. 2. C. Improvement of the new offensive line. Or 3. A strong two-headed threat at running back. Make sure you put a 4 in front of your answer so we know what poll question that you are answering. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the season is right around the corner. Right around the corner. 53-man roster is done. There'll be some changes to it. There'll be some tweaks. But just don't expect for the Steelers to go out there and make some kind of big splash, for a wide receiver or anything like that. I don't believe it's going to happen. Would I like it to happen? Sure. But I don't think it's going to happen. And that's okay. That's okay. This is who we got. And let's go play football. All the talking and all that stuff has to stop. Part of the reason that the Steelers didn't make a big splash for wide receiver 2, I think they figure that they've solved somewhat of that passing problem with the tight end that they've brought in and having multiple tight ends, pass catching tight ends. I'm not saying they're wide receiver 2s, but I'm saying I think they have tried to alleviate some of that burden by having who they have on the offensive side of the football. So I'm excited to see it. Quite frankly, I'm ready for it to get going. I'm ready for this to get going, man. I'm excited for the season. You be excited. Appreciate everybody. That's all I got for you today, man. It's right around the corner. You can smell it. You can smell it. And I'm ready. So appreciate everybody. Thank you for always being there. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in the comments, and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when Steelers Almighty content comes out. Till next time, aloha.